Revelation 1453. From the 4th of June 1940. Effects of the works of love. Increased power. The strength is to be increased through the love. Everything man does should be born from love, then he will also feel the increased power supply. He will be carried by an unparalleled security and will stimulate everything around him to love, because the spiritual around him feels the love, and the will to God will be stimulated. And this will again is power. Men cannot imagine a work of love in its effect. All imperfections are subordinated to the perfections. That is, all good spiritual things have great influence on the spiritual things that are in the process of higher development, and the imperfections feel this influence as increased power. It can more easily carry out what its will strives for, and thus the power of love penetrates into all beings and increases in it the urge to ascend. And therefore all thinking and acting should have its origin in love, then it will bear rich fruit. The spiritual in man demands redemption, but can only be redeemed through love. If man is now lovingly active, he gives his spirit freedom within himself, and this liberation of the spirit in turn earns him the grace to recognize the value of love and thus now to live consciously, that is, to practice love. And what he now does with the intention to serve God and the neighbor with it, is the outflow of the love expressing itself in him. He wants to be good, he wants to strive to the height, he wants to serve, to help the fellow man, he wants to bring liberation to all beings that surround him. And every work of love now also gives him the strength to carry out what he wants. The power of love is effective to the greatest distance. Men can include every being distant from him in his love work, it can grant him help in spiritual need, because love will always break its way and find the way to God. Therefore a requesting thought in love will always reach the divine ear and give power to the being for whom the prayer is meant, in richest measure. Therefore, prayer should always be based in deep love. Whoever asks on behalf of his neighbor, should be prompted to do so by love, then every prayer will find an answer from God. Every activity in love results in unimaginable spiritual successes, because God himself is in every work of love, therefore his power must also overflow into every person active in love and bring redemption to the spiritually unredeemed, because to be unredeemed means to be far away from God. But to be active in love, means to feel God's nearness, and the nearness of God must inevitably also mean influx of power for the being. And again, every influx of power is a becoming free from an unfree state. But only the being can become free, which forms itself to love, because only love produces the strength which the being needs for its becoming free. Amen.